Hello, America. H.R. 1955, Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act. This is an implied. Bear with me. This is going to make a little bit of noise for you. I'm just trying to get everything in place. It's the Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act, and what that means is any type of homegrown here in our country terrorism, which includes what I'm saying now, could be seen or visualized as inciting. And I don't care. This is my freedom of speech, and this is what I'm entitled to. I want to give you the list of the names of the American traitors, and then I'll tell you the rest of it. Christopher Carney, Democrat, Pennsylvania. Yvette Clarke, Democrat, New York. Charles Dehn, Republican, Pennsylvania. Zoe Lofgren, Democrat, California. Nita Lowry, Democrat, New York. Benny Thompson, Democrat, Mississippi or Missouri. James Langevin, Democrat, Rhode Island. Ted Poe, Republican, Texas. Dan Lundgren, Republican, California. Jane Harman, its founder, Democrat, California. Norman Dix, Democrat, Washington. Ed Perlmutter, my own state, Democrat, Colorado. I hang my head in shame. Dave Reichert, Republican, Washington. Al Green, Democrat, Texas. Dana Christensen, Democrat, Virgin Islands. These are traitors, America. These are the ones. They wrote up and supported a bill for the Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act, which means we as citizens cannot create groups, even standing militias, small arms groups, designed to protect our neighbors against government and its intrusion. We are not allowed to create these groups anymore. So that means we'll become subversive groups, simply by our mere existence. We can be rounded up and arrested for being members of or participants in any of these groups. Be just fine with me. A handful of New World Order architects in collusion with bankers and foreign governments, martial law is imminent. If we refuse to act now, sadly, in the House of Representatives, it passed 404 yes to 6 no. Let me say that again. 404 yes to 6 no. The names that I listed off in the beginning are all people who are in collusion with this program. They all want to see that homegrown terrorist prevention, which includes any number of free speech groups, online groups, any group that you can imagine that speaks out against government, will fall under this directive. These are clear violations of the 4th, the 5th, the 18th, and the 14th Amendments of the Constitution. I just recently went to an ACLU meeting. I'm not a member of the American Civil Liberties Union, but they were hosting a production for the Real ID Act. And they brought in a couple of people from Washington, D.C. They brought in some people from all across the country. And yeah, the Real ID Act is an act indeed. It's just an act. It's an exercise. Costing Americans $26 billion to implement. Think. Our government already complains about the money it spends. But no worries, we'll print it. It's a sad note. You need $26 billion? No problem. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. We'll kick all that out for you. We'll have that for you in about 2 days. Larger databases equal more abuse of power. Privatization has set the benchmark, which can pave the way for selling our information. So now they're going to have massive databases that's all they do is collect your information. And if you really like a particular brand of something and it's on sale in your region, or you can buy it cheap on the internet, they'll make that conveniently available to you. The scary fact is this is how they accumulate this information. It doesn't matter what you buy. It doesn't matter where you buy it. At very least, allowing accidental hacking. This tactic is sublime. It's called information grabbing, a common practice on the internet. When they watch what sites you go to, they think they're sort of building up a profile. You know, you get a little cookie that follows you around and sort of just collects little bits of information, brings it into its own little collective database, and then begins shipping you emails when they think they have a product that matches your need. And yeah, you're probably better just to get rid of it. In a parallel, the Rwandan government, and this is true, um, attempted to utilize the national ID card, which subsequently then therein began ethnic cleansing and racial cleansing. They actually utilized these cards and these IDs. The government used them to kill off what they thought to be undesirables or people in their country that didn't really belong. And you can sort of think about this like data mining in reverse, only instead of getting little bits of information, they'll be able to get gobs of information instantaneously and then turn around and use that against you, because this information data mining, it'd be like a little pinprick where they just reach in and snoop around in your stuff and sort of go, you know. And this sort of proves again that when governments and their leaders set out to create divisions, even as something as mundane as an ID, people sometimes unknowingly create those divisions within themselves. Now, I want to point out that, and this is just sort of a crossbar when it comes to the national ID card, that the 9/11 hijackers got their identifications from the state of Virginia. Several Virginia state employees sold identifications for bribery, guised them as local nationals, and then turned around and used these IDs to board these airlines. And in parallel, I want to point out something. You know, they were saying the same things about national security during the time of the Social Security card. You remember those days? I'm sure most of you are too old. There was a huge fight, or too young, but there was a huge fight between the people and the government concerning the Social Security card and how that was going to work. Giving us names was really unnecessary, even in our youth, even in our parents' youth, because once they had the Social Security card, you know, they just turned around and reduced all of your information to this set of numbers that are you. So giving you a number is easier for them than giving you a name, because how many John Smiths are there in the United States? If you database John Smith, you'd probably wreck your computer trying to figure out exactly which John Smith this guy was. I'm not for the Real ID Act. I don't think it's going to stop terrorism, because if they can sell identifications, or if they could hack, print their own cards, or do anything that they want, it's just setting up another level of criminality for the smarter criminal. And yeah, they seem to be getting smarter with each and every day. But you know, this whole thing, it's closing in quickly, and suddenly it's all at a hurried pace. They're bringing the national ID. Now, if you want to be exonerated for the time, two states, Vermont and Montana, have both sworn to never allow the Real ID card. And it's not even a matter of money, it's a matter of constitutionality, because most states structure their constitution after the United States Constitution, and they realize that this is unconstitutional, and for no other reason have they done this. And to that I say hooray. So if you want to save yourself from the Real ID right now, your best two states are, like I said, Montana and Vermont at this point. But America, you know, the ACLU, I'm not a subscriber. I sort of don't like what they do, the way they try to set up divisions in this country. It's just another one of those groups. But some of the work that they do is worth having around and holding on to. So America, we need to keep pushing to stop the Real ID, and let's get it done. I'll talk to you later.